Hello, friends. It's me, Cynthia, and I am here today in Asheville, North Carolina, with our Sunday edition of our Magic Hour. So, thank you for joining me on this beautiful Sunday evening.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, Azalea is with us on the other side of the camera, and today I have a couple of things to show. One, I want to show a necklace that I completed from our latest kit. What was this one?
Water lily.
Oh, water lily. Oh, I can't remember that. But anyway, this is the water lily kit, and I did. I'll flip the camera around here in a second to show it. I'm flipping it so that I can see the pendant.
Did you knot in between each thing, or I'm seeing those pink opals, and it looks like you did some groupings where there weren't any knots in between?
Yeah, sometimes I do that, because I was showing how you don't have to knot between each and every. So I have a few groupings. It kind of looks washed out in this light, like it's let me see. Kind of looks like you can't really see as much of the color. It'll show better when I have the camera around. Oh, hello. All right, so Azalea is collecting. We have where's that giveaway?
We're doing 3 this evening.
We have three. Hello, my friends.
Comment #Peach in all caps to win one of these. So we'll have 3 different winners tonight for a bead blend peach.
And these are vintage from before Azalea was born.
BA.
When we did bead and button, and one of our friends had a booth full of antique seed beads. They were never in use, or they were never sometimes you get antique seed beads and the hanks are, they've been out on the show floor for I don't know how long, and they're kind of dusty. I don't mind this, by the way, but these had been in the packaging of like little paper sacks on the hank, and they're great big hanks. It's pretty cool, but weird colors, like this is like these beautiful orangey, tangerine, peach colors. There's a variety in here. Some of them are kind of like hexagon-shaped bugle beads. They were designed to be sewn to clothes, so they have the flat sides on them are pretty good for being flat on, like a sequin top. So anyway, I have 3 of those to give away. Hello, my friends. Oh, Vivian from Idaho. Nice to see you. Where's everybody coming from? Oh, I see Cecilia. Hello. Cherie, Angela. Hello, my friends. One person I see, Facebook user. You may have to give StreamYard permission to use your name as yourself. I think they have a thing where you can give StreamYard permission, but I can't read your name. So maybe if you can't do it on Facebook, get onto our YouTube, because that might be a little bit better. Kathy out of Illinois. Hello, Linda. Cynthia from St. Augustine. Allison says still in Connecticut. That's good. That is good. Hello, Nilda. I'm going through these here. Hello, my friends. I see another one from Maryland, but it says Facebook user. The only thing about that is that I can't see your name, but it might pull it. We had an issue with this the other night. We did a live on Friday night with the TGB gift guide, and we had a similar issue with Facebook not showing it. But you know what? When we did the draw, it seemed to work. It didn't show Facebook user as any of the names. So it's probably going to be fine. But if you want to make sure, you can head over to our YouTube channel. And if you're not subscribed already, then please do. Hello. All right. Linda says from Florida, close to St. Augustine. We were stuck in traffic in St. Augustine not that long ago. I was like, let's stop by St. Augustine and see what's happening there. And when we stopped, we thought we were going to make a brief stop and get lunch. And the road, I don't know if it's Highway 1 or A1A. I I can't remember which one it is. But it was so backed up. It was not how I remembered it all. So that was kind of interesting. Not really, but
Full of tourists,
anyway.
I assume.
I don't know. I'm going to flip this camera around. I'm going to get the show on the road. Let's see. Feel free to stop by. That would be fun. Wouldn't it be? Azai and I have been fantasizing about doing a road trip for years. We were like, wouldn't it be fun if we did a road trip and drove around visiting our friends? And I'm going to switch cameras here. Did you get a chance to polish this lens, little daughter, before I switch? I'm going to do it right now.
We have a good amount of stuff to show everybody tonight.
It's good.
I have some links to drop when we start looking at that if you want to look at some back stock of our kits first.
All right, that sounds good. Let's see. I'm going to flip this up just to see because it didn't orient. There it goes.
Showing me my koala nose, yeah.
That was just your t-shirt of I Love Kevin, the vampire cat.
I love
Kevin. We got
Kevin.
that when we went to Franklin with Candy and we stopped by the cat museum. I don't know if you all remember that funny time, but that was a few years ago. Pretty hilarious. Candy said she's not a cat person, but I was convinced I could change her mind about that with Marty. She said, I may reconsider. And you know what? Last night I was at my friend's house. They have a big property. Call it Sheeler Mountain. It's not actually called that. That's just what we call it. But they have a dog and they have a pit bull that is so adorable. And I just like that dog and we bonded. And usually I'm kind of scared of dogs, but for some reason that dog was like a teddy bear, very soft, and smelled neutral. All right, so here's the necklace. This is from this kit. I didn't get into the pewter pieces, but you could easily dangle. So this has the golden lepidolite. I don't know if we have any of this left, but I thought I'd show my finished object. It took me a minute. We did 2-part on showing the different ways to knot with, or maybe this wasn't the 2-part. The 2-part might have been something else. But I did a little bit different. I'm going to switch back over. I didn't realize I was in camo this whole time. Couldn't see. I was like, why don't I see the comments?
Oh.
Yes, I love kitties so much. They're my favorite. I'm a cat person for sure. So I did this kind of action right here. So here, I'll flip it so you can see. Usually I reserve this technique for a bracelet because it will sit on your wrist. So I'll do half seed beads. In this case, these are little flat silver like squares with a hole punched in the middle, and they give it a kind of stacked look, I guess. I don't know what the right description. Kind of like little stones stacked together. So when you put I made that a little bit tight, so it'll have to work its way. It'll stretch a tiny bit. So when you wear it as a bracelet, it's usually like this with a bracelet. So that way it'll sit with the triangle. So that's what I usually do for this type of bracelet. If I have a button, I like to do this. It's kind of a fun way to do it. So the pink opal on this looks good with the rose water quartz. It was just this is a completely random mix, even though I kind of wanted to, it's a little strong on there. Let's see. Oh, I see. Queen Tut says, I love cats, but my husband is deathly allergic to cats, so it's only dogs and birds for us. Wow, that's sad. I have a friend that's really allergic to cats. I feel like it kind of controls her life a little bit. And I watched this. Didn't we watch what was it? Was it a Vera or a Midsummer Murder where somebody caused another person to get anaphylactic shock because they put cat hair in their vent and then took out their EpiPen? And I was like,
that sounds like a Midsummer Murders episode. So redonkulous.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could. If someone got anaphylactic shock and they're out in the middle of nowhere, then you would not be in good shape. Now, what else was I going to show? Oh, when we were on the mountain, they have this great big property that has mica, tons of big sheets. And I found, well, I didn't have anything. If you can believe this, I was not wearing the right outfit to gather. I know, weird. And
usually you're in your sport wear.
Yeah, well, I did not have the right kind of pockets. So this is a big sheet of mica. Look how fun this is. This is so satisfying. You got to see how this. So whenever I'm talking about some of these stones that have chatoyance, this is a good illustration of that. So these are kind of like stacked layers. There's a little bit of mud in between each layer, kind of like a wafer. Isn't that neat? So it looks like that.
That is
kind of remind me of Pringles a little bit, or like Haw Flakes, the tamarind, or maybe Haw is not. Maybe it's the same family. I'm not really quite sure. Isn't that neat? So this is what it looks like when you wash it. Oh, you know what? They have even bigger pieces. So I washed these in a little bit of water to get the mud off, and you can see how clear. So they used to use this a long time ago as window coverings, as medieval glitter, because look what happens. It's the smaller pieces. Look at this. You can get, look at how you get like, so this is actually used in makeup too. And you can see how you can get a very fine dust that has the little sparklies. It comes apart pretty easily. They've also used it in ovens for the pilot light, so you could see the pilot, but it's heat resistant. So it doesn't melt or react in any way. You could see light through it. So that's one of the things. It was also used for a technique called plique azur. It's a French way that they did on like Tiffany. I think it was Louis Comfort Tiffany did a lot of plique azur. That's where it's like tiny stained glass, and they would use this to pack little cells of wire with ground glass called frit, and then heat it up in the kiln until it melted. And then this would either come off, like peel off the back, or it would just stay in place. A friend of mine used to do pendants with the plique azur technique, and it's kind of like resin, where you would use this like as if it were tape, if you've ever done that kind of technique. But it's pretty cool. It's neat stuff. When I saw these big sheets of it, I immediately thought, hey, this would make good paper. And along the creek where we were walking, there was also this kind of fluffy milkweed. And I thought, man, we could make paper with that and have some silky pieces of milkweed. And so that's one of my projects that may or may not happen. I found a bunch of mushrooms. This is a turkey tail, and it's used in medicinal teas and things, or you can grind it. This piece is a little bit dry because when you collect it, you want to find that it's kind of soft and pliable. This is dried out already, but it's kind of fuzzy and has a little bit of a metallic sort of like a butterfly wing if you look close. It's really beautiful. The way you can tell that it's turkey tail, I don't have a magnifying glass handy, but if I did, I would show you the back is pricked with a bunch of little holes. What it looks like, that's the way you tell it that's turkey tail. So, and I found lion's mane the other day. That was cool. On my friend's tree, I climbed up a ladder and I was like, let me check this out. Because I grew it on the counter one time, and I know that lion's mane doesn't have a deadly look-alike. You know, like some of these white mushrooms have another version, like a destroying angel looks kind of a lot like a regular white mushroom to me. So I would never pick anything like that from the terror of that being my last supper. Okay, so here's, oh, I see. So this is, don't they use to protect the shields on a rocket ship from heat? It is heat resistant, which is pretty cool. This is a little pendant. I just carved this, and I have not finished punching all the tops, but it's a little scene of Asheville with clouds and rain and a little mountain back here, a mountain range, and trees. And if you look carefully, you can see little houses and the French Broad right here. Isn't that cute? So this will be coming out real soon. Just wanted to show the, the beginning of the piece. So that's one that is coming soon. It's our Asheville kind of. I think I'll make a few more Asheville type of things, but I didn't want anything that kind of made people feel, PTSD from looking at it. At first I did a drawing and it had like a monster river that was kind of like a yokai from like a Japanese god creature that was coming in and tearing everything up. And I thought, maybe that'll be like a limited edition or something. But maybe that'd be cool on a pendant like this, as a pendant. I don't know.
That sounds so cute.
Oh, you like the idea of the
like, I know what your type of monsters look like, with far set apart eyes and a round head.
Guess it wasn't in this book. Maybe it is. I have so many sketchbooks, you can never tell what's going to happen. All right. Yeah, someone says, sounds very Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Facebook user. I don't know who it is, but very Miyazaki. I like that story. This is me coming up with wacky musical instrument ideas. I have a little, I guess it's like a modular synthesizer controller. Oh, so I was going to show how I like to do some sketching in my book. This is when I was on retreat in March for some physical therapy positions to avoid getting stiff neck or stiff body from sitting and crafting really hard. So
like what I'm doing.
I was telling Azai, I said I should print this so that people can do these, and maybe you can remember to do it. There's one here where you do a chin tuck, and that helps relieve the pressure on the neck. A shoulder squeeze. If you squeeze your shoulder blades together, it releases tension in the shoulders. And let's see. Oh, good. I want to know who Facebook user is that did some watercolor today that was raining in the cabin, because that sounds good. And here's some other stretches that you can do like this. Do your fingers touching each one to loosen up the fascia in the wrist right in here. And then here's a good stretch here. Using your hand in both directions, stretching it out. It's good. That way you don't get carpal tunnel. So take a stretch break. And don't forget that the best posture is the next posture. Goofy. All right, some of you have, this is another one I'm going to do. Do you like this? This is for Azalea, a Jane Austen type of coin. This side shows the house that Elizabeth Bennet lives in, and then a side view of said Elizabeth Bennet.
I want that one.
Yeah, you do. Oh, I showed this before. So this paper's great. This book is from, I think it's this brand. Doesn't say the brand. Anyway, it's a craft paper, and even though it's kind of a thin paper, it can hold a lot of different mediums. This is gouache, and then metallic paint, and then watercolor on this side with white gouache and metallic paint. Facebook users, I am not seeing you. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing you. All right, let's start with some of my favorite pencils for this. My whole kit that I like to use, I put them in one of these little blue Q bag zipper pouch. And I usually carry a pencil, mechanical pencil, a pen, an eraser. These guys right here. And that's what goes in there. So this is this set. And if I want more color, I'll use this here. And my white gouache. It's my favorite thing. Katney, I see. I just flipped to YouTube. Yeah, I see that now. Some of them are not showing up to me, but if they're showing up to you, it might be I don't know. It might just be a StreamYard thing. All right, I'm going to show, and then a water brush, and this is one of the Inktense. Oh no, this is not an Inktense. This one's an Inktense. Or maybe this one is. I love these watercolor pencils. They are very good. We're not going to use these at the moment. Yeah, I noticed that a couple days ago when we were live on Friday. It was such a nuisance. Okay, my friend Star got me this brand of pencil sharpener. I think it's from Muji. Okay, so here's how it goes. Look at this one. Is pretty chewed up. And this is a sketchbook pencil from Derwent that is a wash pencil. This one is called Light Wash in HB. They have like 6 different ones. Maybe this one might be too thick to go in there. Cecilia says, a lot of people want that pendant. Look how sharp. Can you even believe how sharp? I don't think I've ever had a pencil sharpener that was that sharp. Let's try it on this one. I love these rainbow pencils from Black Pal. These are really good. I'll show these in a second. They're awesome. And this one has, I believe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors in one pencil. I'm not really sure. It doesn't have the brand. I think it's Muji. I'll ask my friend. She got it for me as a gift. And it's a really good, I mean, it gets a sharp point. No, I didn't go long enough for this one. It's a really good, it's very sharp. But weirdly, there are no markings that I can see that have the maker mark. But I think she told me it was Muji. M-U-J-I. Okay, let's start with this. Hopefully it shows up. Sometimes the lights are such that you can't really see with the glare. And I like to do, this is the technique I'm going to show right here. Where is it? Something like this. So I'll start with a quick sketch of something and then go back and forth between white gouache and pencil. So these are just ideas, but the white really pops, and you can keep this in a pouch, and you don't need to take a lot of stuff with you, but get a nice background, like to kind of differentiate your kind of negative space on the page. Oh, Terry says, yes, it appears to be a Muji. Love that brand. So what am I going to draw? Maybe I'll draw a figure. Oh no, I wish I had my other phone so I could draw this dog. It was so cute. I'm not very good at drawing dogs. Let me see what I'm going to draw. I don't know if you could see this. Oh, you can. Let's do, I will do a face, I think. Okay. Do a quick face. And this is the Graphitint. Maybe I can move it so you can see a little bit better with that glare. I think she got it at Muji, but on the Amazon website. I'm not 100% positive how she got it or where, but oh, we'll do that to design an earring. Perfect. This way gives you a lot of freedom to kind of just find the form. Doesn't have to be. Sometimes I don't want to go directly to pen because if I don't know what I'm going to do, and then I'm just sort of feeling out what I'm going to draw. This gives you some options. And these pencils are cool. I like these in figure drawing. If I ever get to go to, there's a few places in town that you can go and draw live models. But these are my favorite to bring with me. Partly because they're in my bag. So I carry this with me all over the place. It's funny. I was going over to my friend's house for one evening. They live about 45 minutes away. So since we were going to be there late with a campfire and everything, we decided to stay the night. And just going to someone else's house for an evening, I had to pack so many. Like I need my heavy blanket. I need my art kit. And did I get into the majority of it? Well, my heavy blanket I did, but for the most part, I did not even get into the majority of what I brought with me. It's just that compulsion. What if I have the moment to watercolor in the dark? You never know. Kind of giving me a Mona Lisa sort of vibe, huh? Vivian says, where did you get that pencil and what brand? This is a Derwent Graphitint, and these come in, the Graphitint are like pencils, but they have a light bit of color to them. So it's kind of interesting. They're not strictly black. My favorite one, like, oh, here's a good one. This one is dark indigo, and they come in sets of maybe 12. Oh, I just broke the tip off of that one. Shoot.
Still looks so sharp.
It's so sharp, so delightfully sharp. These are, and when I'm usually using them, they're not that sharp. I'll wear them down before I'll sharpen again. Let's see what the good part is here. You'll see why I like these next. So with these, let's see what kind of hairstyle she's gonna have. And then you can put an earring and design an earring component right here. Karen says, what do you carry in your traveling art kit? I carry these items in here, just like this, that I showed earlier. They do look like, so these are kind of cool. So if you squeeze this barrel's full of water right here. So if you squeeze it, you get a little bit of water. And look how fun this is. It's like it wakes it up. Wakes it right up. And when it dries, you can layer some more on there if you're not 100% loving what you did. You can go in and add more, but not while it's wet. You don't want to do it while that's wet because you might tear the paper. And this isn't super, this paper's kind of thin. But I've mixed that indigo with the cool gray. No, where'd that like? Oh. Yeah, they're neat. They're neat pencils. What's cool about a water brush is you can just squeeze it and you're ready. You don't have to mess with bringing a water container.
I love a water brush, and that little container of gouache you made for me, the white, I'm almost used it all up already.
Well, what we'll do is we will reload, and you reload with Winsor & Newton white opaque gouache. That's what I load this up with. I pour it till it's full, and then once it's full, I let it dry, and it will shrink down. So once it shrinks down, I'll go and reload it again.
You get that out of a tube, right?
It's from a tube. So this is kind of buckling. That's okay. I'm not worried about the buckling. If I really am concerned about it, I could iron this afterward, or I could put books on top of it. Now, if you were to iron it, you would just very gently heat it and not go, you don't want to burn it. You don't want to burn the paper, because you can burn the paper.
Ironing paper, like I've done that before when I was ironing brown paper for a sewing pattern, and it makes a very nice smell. Like it's not burnt, but it smells good when you iron brown paper like
Kind of
that.
smells like a cookie.
Yeah, it kind of smells like a cinnamon cookie a little bit, and I'm like, where does that smell come from?
I
Because
don't
this is
know.
just regular brown paper getting ironed out.
Must be the sizing.
Yeah, maybe so, but it smells good, that's for sure.
Yeah, under these lights, it's drying pretty fast. And I'm using very little actual white. It's kind of floating on the surface. And I can keep rebuilding that surface. And this would be a good time to use the metallics if you have them. Kind of fun. I like to do these like heads sometimes when I'm going to draw, or when I'm thinking of drawing or designing an earring component or something, so you can get the whole head in here. And I don't know what I'm going to do, so I'll just sort of kind of move the watercolor around and see what happens, and look at it and say, what would be good right here? What do I want that I don't have currently that would be nice? That's one of the benefits of making your own components, is if you don't have it, you can make it. Where'd that indigo one go? Oh, let's try the light wash. This is a very light light. You can see it here. It's a little bit different tone. Tammy says, great. I really like this notebook you're using. Great for colored pencils too. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I just broke it. Too aggressive. Shoot. Oh, hello, Kelly. Yes, y'all put in the hashtag. Make sure you get it in the same orientation that you see it. Make sure you do all caps and the hashtag, or it won't read it.
Peach.
Oh, Clem says, today I boiled down the water from cooking a purple sweet potato until it became really thick. Plan on trying to use it as a pigment for painting. I added some vinegar to preserve it. Interesting. I want to see what happens. I love making my own paint. Yeah, this is drying really fast. I kind of like that. Right here, if you're looking at this and going, wow, I don't know what's happening there. Since it's buckling, it will be very simple to put a book on it or do something of that sort to flatten it. But I'd certainly like to use an iron. So this is I'm going to use this on a place where it is dry, because it is not going to be good because it's so sharp it might rip the paper. And I can turn this. I'm going to try and get it a little bit closer. I've made ink from, what are those purple plants? What are they called?
I can't remember.
You know what I'm talking about? They're like
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what they're called. We had them growing in the background or in the backyard, didn't we?
Pokeberries. So here's a little bit of this. See, this is on the yellow side, and if you turn it just slightly, you can get other colors. So that's the blue, and I'm turning it to get the different shades. I'm going to turn it to the kind of a reddish here for her mouth. Get a little bit more. And this is a colored pencil, a rainbow colored pencil. It's kind of fun because you only need one colored pencil to put in your kit. This one is not really super waxy, which is pretty nice. Sometimes a colored pencil can have more wax than pigment, I think. The yellow is kind of dominating this. I want to see it, Clem. A lovely shade of magenta. Okay, where is the next pencil? Oh, so another thing. Here's another thing. I'm going to go back before I add more water. So sometimes I'll do this, and I have these other paint. This is, I don't know if this is any good. This one, Azalea loves these. The Uniball,
I go through them so
Signo.
fast.
So I don't know how much is left of this because we do go through these. These are so good on, let me see if this is any good. Yeah. So here's another thing for white. You can get in here and pick up details that might otherwise be too difficult, or you don't want to get your white gouache out. I like to pick that out. It's a little bit damp for that right here, but it's kind of fun to go in. Let's see. Of course, it's
good pen.
Yeah, they're good, and I think it just died. Yeah, that looks like it's out. That's done. Kayla says you're a food artist. That sounds good. Food art. Who doesn't like that story?
I could go for some food art right now. Where's Max?
He's pretty good at food art.
Max is a little bit.
He's a little bit of he's going to be a foodie.
He is a foodie, but you know what? While you guys were gone yesterday, he made me that stuff where he takes the Spam and he marinated it and fried it and put it on rice, and it was real good.
He made some. They serve that in Hawaii. It's called musubi, I think. And musubi, you have a little bit of. I know the Spam sounds terrible, but it's not
delicious.
Terrible. It's low sodium, so it's not too salty.
So
this is a really good pen, and it's pretty fun to get in here and pick little details out. This pen is from Retrico, and I got this down in Biltmore Village at the pen. What's that place called? That pen place that has the fancy pens when we go to lunch over
Ink.
Oh, it's called Zen Ink.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a pen store called Zen Ink in Biltmore Village that we go when we go to get well bred.
It's like right next door.
It's right next door. I have a coupon, Azalea, for my birthday. We should go tomorrow.
Oh, for well bred? That's
Yes.
a good idea.
Take you.
I love their key lime pie. I'm getting hungry. I'm feeling like we're talking about food. We're talking about like maybe I need to make a snack.
Yes, I love that. Get a nice snack. This pen has the sharpest point that you've ever seen. It's so good. Like, take a gander at that. Like, how sharp that pen is. And look how fine the line is. Let's get in here and I'll show. That's still damp on that spot. You can really get some beautiful line work in. It doesn't want to go over the colored pencil though. So what I like to do is I'll go the ink after. Right now it hasn't dried very well, or it hasn't dried much. It's still a little bit damp. And some of the places don't want, if it's too damp, the pen it skips. So I like that shape. Maybe this will be a good shape. Something like, I'm still thinking about what is the best idea for my first pendant or charm that I'll have sent off and made by the folks at Tiercast. Oh, Musubi. Thank you. What did I say? Masabi. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you. I love to draw. And you know what? I found one of my old sketchbooks. I wasn't very good at it. And I think the key, if you want to be good at drawing, is just doing it, even if you're terrible at first. Because no one starts off where they're just really good, no matter what they say. Sometimes people are like, I just learned to draw when I was born. Maybe. That's not everybody. Maybe her hair goes like this. And see, that's a damp spot. The pen skitters a little bit. It doesn't want to go on here when it's a little bit damp. Yeah, that's a good idea. Terry says, oh, wow, a solo toggle would be amazing, but really anything would be lovely. I like this. Lately, I'm drawn to this sort of crystalline shape. I don't know. Anyway, could be. Maybe a floral design in there. There's so much potential. It could be. I wonder if I have another color down here. But this is still good. One of the fun things is mixing and matching. I like to do mixed media. It's kind of fun to play with light. Like the light, she's kind of silhouetted against this dark background. And it shifts to this is now the light side. So then I can have this color play. This pattern of dark here to show this pendant. Make a frame for it. I've been interested in sort of folkloric shapes lately. I saw a house when we were driving through Leicester this afternoon that had this really cool, on the front of the house, it had like this shape like this. On the, what's that part of the house that's like this? I don't know what that's called. Gable? What is this called? And it's like this point. And then there's the roof like that. But it had this neat cutout. I was like, how beautiful. Look like this. And it made me think, man, I would like that on something similar. I don't know. Maybe it was simpler than that, but that's the vibe it gave me. Oh. I see. I love Vermeer's Girl with a Pearl Earring. Very reminiscent. Yeah, you know, I think that's one of the. I have that painting up in my studio, and I think it's soaked into my brain.
I love that painting and the movie.
And the movie, but who doesn't love? What is it? What's his name? Colin Firth. I always get him confused with the other Colin. I don't get him confused as an actor, but the names kind of, they're the same time period. But I like Colin Firth better. Yeah, it's kind of like a leaf. But I think it was more trying to be a tree. This shape here. But you know, say I didn't like this. The good part about white gouache is that I can go in like this and pick out where I want to sort of emphasize the darks. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat technique. I love white gouache on brown paper. I think it's one of the most satisfying and easy. This is one way to doodle. If you think to yourself, oh, I'm not skilled enough to paint. This is a good doodle thing because then you can just make shapes with your brush. And even if you're just making kind of like shapes like feathers, because sometimes when I'm letting my brain sort of think of something that I like, I'll just make marks. And they might not be anything, but I feel like it's a way for my brain to sort of relax into, into a more pliable state to come up with interesting ideas. Because, when you do your business is reliant on being very creative and coming up with new things, it can be challenging to always have something ready to go and ready to be made. There were times when I just could not think of what I wanted to do. And whenever that happens, I find that either just getting something like a piece of paper or clay or something and just letting my hands do their own thing. And it used to be, I've done this ever since I was a kid, just making marks, just like getting your paper out. It's satisfying. And it may not look like like what you imagine it should look like. But really, if you take away that component of expectation and just let yourself be creative in the moment, it can be very nurturing to your mind and letting you, like helping with stress relief. Like there's a compound. I mean, there's all these studies I've read about with things like craft and how people relax in different ways with doing something over and over, or something that is very pattern, like making patterns or creating knots or beading, knotting, those types of things are very relaxing. And they access a different part of your brain. So it's pretty cool. Linda says, make sure everyone hits that like button for the ladies. Yes, thank you, Linda.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not good at remembering to ask people to do that. So I appreciate that, Linda. Being tech savvy is not my first love, as many of you probably already know.
I like that everything you draw has far apart eyes.
Oh, well, you can see how this started off very, kind of wrinkly, and it's still wrinkly. As it dries, it's going to get more and more flattened out. Facebook users says, I've read a lot of quotes that say art saves. Oh, Azalea, you need to plug in the computer because it's running low. Oh, thank you, Kelly. She says there's only 13 likes and 18 watching. Is that on YouTube? Yeah, the fun then is just picking out the highlights. When you're learning or making something that has a three-dimensional shape, like a head, it's kind of fun to get the highlights. That's what makes it, like the shadow and the lights will make things pop forward or recede back. Oh, I see you have that cord.
Yeah.
Oh my, I forgot. Like Azalea, I'm at the 47-minute mark.
I just thought you were having a good time.
You know what? Thank you. Yeah, I was having a good time with this. Thank y'all for being. I could just do this for hours. It's very relaxing.
You're living your best life.
Mm-hmm. And you know what I like to do? I love doing faces and I love doing the makeup on them. It's so fun. So you can mix and match. Say you wanted to do this. I have this little thing of, this is the Essential Collection from Daniel Smith. It's 6 colors. You can make any color from these 6. So say I'm going to do a nice pinkish red. These are like highly chromatic, really super intense. You just need a little bit. Oh, I love it. This is a little pendant. Actually, I should maybe I can get Max to 3D print an insert for me so I can. This one has polymer clay. This little thing inside the palette part is polymer clay. But you know what? 3D print would be even better. Oh, thank you, Tina. Tina says I could watch you for hours. I appreciate that.
Terry says, love that you could leave creatures in the tree using negative space.
Yeah, there's so much potential. So this is watercolor with this white gouache, and it works. It would work without using a little bit of white, but it's kind of fun. Sometimes I'll get in there and I'll mix different colors together so I can get a pretty pink. And that way I don't need a full kit of gouache, but I can get some nice pastels using this little teeny palette and this white, and it's pretty fun to use. It's so small. I mean, I think it's the smallest kit I've seen. Probably not the lightest weight. I think the lightest weight would be that paper that's saturated with paint. Remember those, Azalea?
Vaguely, yeah. I always thought that was weird. I always thought, like, what if it just, like,
if it got wet?
Understand.
If it got wet, because you dip your brush in. Oh, Wendy says that whole pen into watercolor thing is so cool. Yes, it is. It's very, very cool. Oh, Katney says, if he does that for you, I would buy a little custom pendant with a 3D insert. Yeah, I could make these. I made them for my sister and brothers so that they could take it and put them into, because see, it's very flat. You could slide this into a pocket. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I can. But the only thing is, when you have that, you have to sort of like wipe it off on the corner, but it's not very tidy. I'll wash it later. I love this blue. How saturated and lovely. This one gets a lot of use. It's a more how saturated. It's so gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Your paintings just jump off the paper. They are so lifelike. Wow, that's nice. I'm going to add a little bit of white to this. But you can see, you can get rinsing on my cloth here. This is a piece of linen canvas that I meant to stretch. I didn't get around to it. I'll just rinse that off. Or maybe it'll be a part of my painting. With a little bit of the white, look at that, it becomes completely, it's like tempera paints. Very bright and lovely. See how intense of a blue you can get? Nice. Tina says, can you use a pill box to make them? Yeah, I think that this is supposed to be a locket, but originally I have used pill boxes for just this. This used to have perfume in it, actually. And that was in the late 90s when I bought these perfume lockets. I guess it's a locket. Compact, I guess. It's more of a compact shape. Yeah, I could go on this, so I'm going to make myself wrap it up. Oh, I see. I bought a sterling box from you. I epoxy-clayed mosaic onto the cover. That sounds beautiful. I had an idea to make really fancy watercolor boxes with one side, like maybe it'll have like three, like white and shadow violet, which is my all-time favorite of these. This is the shadow violet I was talking about. Rinse that off. Here we are, shadow violet, my darling. Yeah, these are granulating tones, so this is the color. It's actually kind of a purple, but it's really lovely. Clem, I agree. If it wasn't for doing art stuff, whoops, that's a good quote there. If it wasn't for doing art stuff, I would have lost my sanity a long time ago. I agree with that. Art is what makes life so wonderful, like the potential of creating something. I think it's what makes us at our most human. You know, when you consider now there's so many arguments of like, what is AI art? What denotes art in general? It's pretty interesting, you know, to think about what is it that makes us even the drive to create.
I saw a quote on the internet the other day that said, the opposite of depression is not joy, it's expression.
Oh.
Create, and create. That's what I saw.
And you know what? I feel better whenever I do. So this is a wet on wet. I did a little bit of this blue, and I'm letting it bleed into the surface of the paint, and it's going to make kind of an opaly surface. Now, these colors, the gouache gets impregnated into the paper. And what that does is when you go over it again, like this is dry here, but let me see if you can hear this. There's a little bit of tooth. And so when you go over it, now this is the fun part here, or one of the fun parts. I'm going to go over with a little bit of the blue side of this colored pencil. If you can see that, like adding a little bit of like almost like a halo of color. And the gouache just locks it into place. So you can get these really pretty, subtle prismatic effects. It kind of looks like a prism through here. But you can't go over it again once that's done because it's waxy. So I'm getting a little bit of halo. But it's kind of a rainbow. It's a little subtle bit of color. Yeah, the paper really loves the white gouache. It makes a great surface to draw on. If you have another kind of pen, Azalea had one earlier. I don't see it over here. That Sharpie pen, that's a really good one. It has a nice, let's see how this one does. This is a good one. This is a fine tip.
I love that Sharpie pen. It's one of my favorites.
I got this from Cherry Tree. They had sketchbook materials in the shop, and this is a vintage ink one. It's a gray, and I believe this is, let me see if I can see that. I think it's Sakura. I can't read that small. But these are really good pens, and they come in beautiful, soft colors. So this one's called vintage ink. I thought it said gray, but it is a gray fine line. It's a 0.5 millimeter. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tidy up because I noticed I've been going. I told Azalea, I said I'm going to go for not that long today so that we can eat. Azalea, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put this stuff aside. Okay, don't forget, y'all. Hashtag Peach. We're doing 3 of them today. We have 3 of these.
3 winners.
I'm going through my stash upstairs. So the only thing is we'll send you an invoice if you want to send me an email so that we can ship this to you. It's only like a few dollars to send that. But that's all. If you want to get the shipping, that would be great. All right, you want to pass me the first thing?
I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. I'm going to lay things out for you. And I'm going to show people how many we have of it. Because this one we have 2 of. This one we have 1 of.
This one we have
1 of.
Azalea, I've made 20 of these. They're in the kiln. Or no, they're done. They're tumbled.
Oh, that's new.
This is the new one. So I have 20 of these if you want to make a tag. Right now.
Okay. Well, there's no hole.
I didn't punch it yet.
Well, it's okay. You should show those first while I'm making a tag.
All right. So here's how this goes. Y'all know how this goes. You
should zoom in a little bit. Here, I can do it.
Okay, thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Shuri. We have a few of these castings. We'll move the wet.
There you go. Perfect.
Thank you, Shuri. I think I can. Let's watch let me go over and see what the StreamYard, or Azalea can look it up.
What am I looking for?
You can see how it's going with the collection of drawing of winners. Try it again. The tool. We may have to
It
do
collects. It collects.
It still collects.
It goes and looks at the comment section of the entire stream. It's not a big deal. Just keep on showing that, and I'll fix it.
All right, get it so I can see what's happening because I can't. All right.
Sometimes the tools that we try to make things easier do not make things easier on occasion.
So this is my Sterling Moon clasp. You guys have seen this before. It's a very good, my favorite clasp. I have 149A. This is a little charm. It's Shibuichi. It's a teeny little toad frog.
I have one of those.
One of them, 195. This is a wing I made for Candy a long time ago. It's 149. It's in bronze. Oh, and I'm going to restock. Maybe Azalea can restock some of these for me.
How many of these did you make? You made 20 of them?
20.
All right. Now we can show
Now we
that.
can show it.
So I think everybody's had a chance to look at all of this. I'm going to move this out of the way. You can show this now while I
Helen,
get my
put
second
your-
batch.
Helen, you have your hashtag with lowercase. Put it in uppercase. Okay, so if you would like to get my Asheville Helene pendant, that is 403. I have 20 of them. If you would like one, that would be fantastic. It's a nice thick, I made these a little bit thicker. I'm gonna have to drill these on the drill press. They won't be able to hand punch them. But there's a lot of little details in there. How pretty it is. Little houses and the trees. This one is a little bit difficult to see because it's so shiny right now, but if you could see up close, there are teeny little, let me see if you can see little raindrops. There's a lot of little details in it. So that is 403, and I have 20.
All right. Very nice. And also, if anybody's watching on the replay, you can send us an email about something that you see, and we'll tell you if that is still available. All right, next. Show all this. I'm expert. We have, I believe, one of these left. So ignore what that says on the back of the tag. There's all but one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, my friends. I see a lot of my pendant being claimed. That makes me happy.
I know I'm doing it like this because I know, actually, I'll take this one out and just put one more thing down. I'm doing it like this because I've gotten emails from people before that were saying like they wanted to be able to see more than one thing at a time, so then they can decide what they want to pick, because like, you know, they just wanted to be able to make a decision based off of, you know, a group rather than just one. So here's our next little batch we're going to show. This is next. These two here, Mom. Put those out afterwards.
Oh, I see what you mean. So the
a lot of people
decide.
They'll change their mind and be like, "Oh, I like this more than the last thing." If I show it in small batches,
I see.
Get a little bit more.
You can kind of. It's like a preview.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had these sold before. I think they were like, I don't know. I want to say that they were like 100 or something, 120 for those sapphires. I'm not sure if the full strand. They're really delightful. So this is the little Gizmo and Shibuichi. Let me see if you can get in there and you can see his little face. It's so cute. It's like Marty. Things like Marty.
Everything that's got a round head and far apart eyes reminds you of Marty.
Oh, Sissy, I see. Linda says, what is your email address? Right here, Greengirlstudios at Yahoo, or you can send one to Azalea, and that's through the website. Okay, so let's see. This is usually sold very fast. I should just make these all the time because they always sell out. But they're kind of finicky to make, that little hole. All right, let me get this on this side.
Very nice. I was feeling
I
my
made
heart
more
for
of these, Azalea. I made 6 more of that. If you want to put it, look up on your phone how much I charge for that, and then
there's a listing for it. We don't need to make a lot. There's a listing.
So if you were looking for this, maybe you can upload it in a minute. So this, I use this all the time in my jewelry, like as this here. This one has been worn very much. This is a different finish, but it's also bronze. This was tumbled a little differently.
Almost looks silver on the screen.
Well, it's hand. This one was tumbled. This one was hand brushed, so it's a little different look.
So these are kind of hard to see, but these are tiny Shibu frogs.
We might have I might have a frog or a troll on my desk. I'm not sure if I do. Oh, these frogs are so adorable. Look how small it is. I didn't realize I had them. This is actual size of a frog that jumped into my hand.
I didn't even know that was real. What possible?
Yeah, I didn't either, but that's the truth. And it's also highly detailed. Look how detailed your feet. it's cast from here, the belly. So this is 205. It's the smallest, cutest frog ever. And it has a little hole through the side, kind of hidden. So you kind of have to look for it. And it could be used like a little button, I think.
Facebook user, is that who is claiming 205? Is that Bonnie Francis? Because I saw a comment earlier that said Facebook user, it's Bonnie, and I just want to make sure that's the same person. Because it's hard. It's. I don't have any idea who you are. I'm sorry. I want to take my notes. All right. Here's the next batch. We have 3 of these silver, bony looking clasps. So we can show this. This one, you've shown this one before, haven't you?
Oh, you've given a deal on this because this is usually more. So snap that up. Because $20 on that clasp is a steal, by the way. It looks like I have 3 of them, but this is how it looks. I have not put this on the website, or I haven't put it on anything because I'm still test driving it. It works great, never comes apart. But here's what I did with mine. Oh, thank you, Bonnie.
Bonnie and Cecilia. It looks like Cecilia went from Facebook to YouTube. Thank you. Sorry for that inconvenience. I wish I knew how to fix it.
I think it's StreamYard.
There's no way for me to change it in any way because it doesn't have anything to do with our stream.
Mm-hmm.
It has everything to do with the permissions, and some people might just be glitchy and might be having a hard time.
Oh, I see. What does it say? 205, Jun Fujimoto and Pat
Moore. All right. Thank you. I mean, I'm going to be able to see all these comments later, so thank you all for commenting and making it clear for me so it's easier for me to make my notes.
Yeah, so this is 158, how I did it with this. I took all the tourmalines off and restrung them so that they were an ombre. So that was in that, I did a live showing how I did the ombre. I put on the indicolite, which is the teal part of a tourmaline strand. I put those all together. That's my favorite part right here, is how it turns the blend of pale pink. So that looks good with that. I would do that as well. It's just good for a kind of that size of stone, I think.
That's lot 158.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I just noticed that the face. It must be a Facebook thing. I didn't notice. I thought maybe it was. Cecilia says trying to put my bids in. I see you, Cecilia.
Well, she went from Facebook now into YouTube.
Yeah, I see that.
This is Shibuichi. This is a little fairy
sitting, and then it's. I made it as an earring class. Every user has to change their setting. Oh, I think it was permissions.
Maybe something between StreamYard and Facebook changed.
All right, is this one done?
Informed about.
Is this one done?
I believe so. These are done. Now these need to be laid out, and I believe that's the last of our metal for the evening. And I have a couple other things left to show over here. Some things that it's a true blast from the past.
Oh, thank you, Wendy. Says, I got that little fairy and she's adorable. Thank you. Oh, Terry says, StreamYard permissions expire. They may need to grant permission again. Liz says, how many of the fish toggle clasps do you have on 158? Are they all taken? I'm not sure, but you know what?
3 of them.
I'm going to do a casting. If there's folks that want something that is not available, let me know and I can make them for next Sunday. They won't be ready for Wednesday's live, but I can make them for next Sunday. It takes about a week to make them. So 2 of those. This bronze one should be 20, actually. I'm gonna change that right now as a special. It's usually 24, but since we had a deal on that one, I'm going to do that right now. So right now this one's 20. It's usually 24, but there you go. That's a deal right there for 401, the bronze clasp. You know, the Facebook permissions usually have a pop-up, and then that'll give you a moment to, it'll ask you. This is one my friend Jessica Weasel made, and I did the text one because nobody can do text like I can do text, apparently. That's just the way that goes. And it has a little mama deer and a little baby deer. Isn't it so sweet? It's a nice little, it says pure love. Isn't that cute? kind of heavy.
Are you ready for the next batch?
Michelle, let's see. We have to. The way we do it is Azalea will go through after this is over, and she'll count up, and usually we have a timestamp. You can see how there's a time in the comments section, and we're using StreamYard, so everything flows into one thing.
It tends to be whichever comment that comes up first in my feed. Because sometimes people come in at the same timestamp.
Yeah,
because they don't go down to the seconds; it only goes down to the hour.
What I'll usually do then is, if Azalea says you had a lot of people asking for, the Pure Love one, so then the next week I'll make a few more so that I know, because it would be really hard to make a ton of one piece, and then you sit on it if nobody wants it. So that's why we'll make small amounts, because it's really expensive. Silver, metal in general, and the process is expensive. All right, let me tell you a little bit about this. This is a mixed strand I got in Tucson a few years ago. I hung on to these because I had an idea to sell these at the Big Crafty during the summer, because I think they're really cool. My initial thing on this was I thought they'd make good bracelets, and I feel like you could get like 2 or 3 out of this. But I'm going to slash this right now, and I'm going to mark this down to, what do you think, 50 on this?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do 50. So this is a mixed strand. Got these in Tucson. They are drilled pretty well. They have a nice look at let me see, fish this. Pretty well. There's a good variety on this. I know Candy and we had the same. I think we both got these. Hers were a bit, I think she had smaller version of this, but I got the bigger size. It looks like there's moonstone. There's a lot of different things. It's a pretty festive strand. And you'd get, when I was looking at this, I would think you could get, let's see how many bracelets.
Looks like 3, maybe.
Maybe 3. I would think 3.
2 or 3.
Yeah, so that's
that would
109.
look really satisfying if you knotted in between those.
If you knotted in between, you probably get 4 bracelets out of it. And they're all really nice beads, I think. I kept one for myself and I wear it. It looks great stacked with other things. This is a good deal on this. Pretty nice labradorite. Let me mark this one too, because I've had this for a minute. I'm going to go down to 20 on this. And I think I have 2. Where's that other pen?
You like my pen, don't you?
Well, that one's a little fine. Oh, no, I have this one. This will work. These are stones, labradorite. The ones that were the he-she beads were also stones. They're just mixed gemstone. 78A, and I have 2.
Yeah, we don't usually ever show anything glass or dyed or anything like that. You can show this next. These things, this strand and these 2 necklaces are the last of the lot sale, and then I'm going to put in some links to the last of our kits.
Okay, so these are pretty cool. This is some fine, beautiful quality on this peridot. This is actually a pretty good price on how good this peridot is. 79A. Really good. And I have 6 of them. They are little teeny. Let's see if I can get where you can see the side view. They're little squares. They have a good hole size. These I have used before on my thread necklaces. They lay pretty interestingly. They kind of they look faceted. Well, they are kind of but a square facet. So this is 79A, and they're 22 for the strand. Yeah, I like these. I have found that this is a good one to make an earring stack. If you've seen those earrings like this, you put them on a wire. Looks good. Loop at the top. Done. Or you could, this would be a good one for the crochet necklaces. You get like 1 million of them out of it for that.
Oh, yeah.
Like this. Like this is only, if I strung the stringing of that was like this much beads total. And then depending on how many knots you put in between give you your spacing. So you can space it close together or you can space them far apart. And depending on how far apart, so if you space them like this, it'll be like, you'll get a ton out of it. So that is 79A. All right, I have a couple of my necklaces left, or actually I have a few of these necklaces. I dropped the price when Marty was having to get his teeth done.
It was when he was having the urinary
problem. No,
problem.
that's right. We didn't get to, no, it was the urinary tract infection. That was horrible.
We had to keep going to different vets to get his pee sampled and having to pay for it and with no results.
That's why that story. That's so terrible. I like our vet, but 2 different vets lost his pee sample. And it was such a nightmare getting him to get the pee sample in general. So horrible. Get PTSD from that. So anyway, I had this marked down to $140, which is a very good price for a sterling heavy-duty clasp. Check that out. Check this out. Look how good this is and how juicy. All the beauty in here. There's a beautiful pearl. Look at that quality of that pearl. This is a pretty rare stone nowadays. You cannot find this anywhere. It's called snakeskin agate. It's beautiful. This is a carved quartz, more carved quartz. There's a piece of jasper, some really luminous gem quality labradorite. Gem quality means that it's pretty smooth all the way through, very few inclusions.
Oh, show the lot number, Mom.
Oh.
B10. Wendy wants it. She said, I want that.
B10.
Me too. I love all the necklaces my mom makes.
Thank you.
The rainbow is so good.
This one just feels good. I love this color combination. It's one of my favorites, and it's a great price. That would have been, this is pretty much the gallery price when I've had him in the gallery, or wait, my take. So usually it's $160, and I've charged more for them depending on the stones, because sometimes your stones are more expensive,
Yeah, look how many times you slashed it. Twice.
I slashed it because I was trying to sell it so I could get money for Marty.
Oh, you just did.
I know.
Let's show the next one. Then I'm going to drop some links for
all right,
the
that's
last
a beautiful
of our kids. Yeah, I know. I love that green you use. What is that stone right there, Mama?
What stone?
This green smooth one.
Oh, they call that, it's in the jade family in the Surf War. I'll have to put my opera visors on and give it a look. Yeah, they call that one a butter jade or a butter jasper, depending on if it has a translucent quality or if it's more opaque. I have to look at it more closely. All right, I have one of these as my turkey tail. I kept one and I gave one away, but none of them are the same. This one has a ruby. Let me see if I can get my...
That one looks longer,
right.
too.
It is a little bit longer. It's
I see amber and a faceted ruby.
Yeah, that's a ruby right there.
I see something that looks like kyanite.
Yeah, looking for that. Looking for my light to show that it's, here it is. I looked at stones today, so you can see the ones that are ruby. Oh, that's the ruby right there. You can see that's fuchsite they call that when it's in another matrix. Sometimes stones will grow together. This is also like a pale. There, you can see that. There's the glow ruby. See if any of the other ones that I put on there. Sometimes amber will fluoresce blue. So some good ones. Oh, this is that spectralite. It's kind of fun. Right here. It's spectralite. That comes from Finland. It has a blue flash. It's basically like labradorite, but it's like blue-black with like a bright cobalt flash. This one is a little piece next to it of rainbow. They call it galaxy opal because it's black opal. This is some nice lapis, sodalite right here. This is a antique little blue bead that I got all long time ago in African Village way back when. This is that trolleyite. It's kind of interesting. It's a soft blue. Aquamarine. So
Did you
this
show
is
the tag?
B3. B3, that's some of that Dutch opalescence, but a little tiny one. Isn't that adorable? You never see them that size. And that's a sapphire right there. These are some like little spacers. I think they're silver with some gold on top. That looks like the purple, probably amethyst and sugilite right in here.
Looks like you sold it.
Lepidolite. Oh, I did sell it?
Oh, yeah. You've been selling them fast. Everybody wants
thank
them.
you, my friends. Thank
It was
you.
Lynn, looks like.
I appreciate
Thank
you.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, everybody that's shopping with us tonight. We really appreciate it. It helps
Yeah, this
us more
feels
than you know.
like so delightful.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Magic. All right, so that's the last of the lot sales.
Let's
Now we're
look
going to
at-
move on to some.
Oh,
you
we're not.
wanna
Oh,
go
we're
over
not.
this?
Yeah, let's do it.
So that is the Terra et Calum or Callum, and that one we have had some. This is our
one-
backstock leftovers. I didn't even know we had. So I'm going to put these out. I already had the link prepared. We have a couple. Everything I'm showing tonight of these kits is very, very small quantities, just leftovers.
These are the last remaining ones.
We
the
don't
last
ever repeat
ones.
kits.
Well, they're really hard
It's hard to repeat because not every time you go shopping can you find the same stuff.
Yeah, sometimes.
And
Well,
for the same price, so it's kind of impossible to repeat because, not only is there no guarantee of it being the same price or the same cut or the same
You get it?
size. What?
so which one? This is Terra. This is the Terra et Calum, and what was this one?
That's the kit. That's both of them are Terra et Calum.
Oh.
It's in 2 parts.
Oh, I didn't know I did that. That's
You did do
beautiful.
that.
Gosh, so smart. So this is the Terra. Earth. Calum is sky. Et is and. There's some Latin for you today.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Okay, what's next?
This is the Autumn and Asheville kit. I'll start showing that. I'll drop the link to
Oh,
that too.
did I make a necklace with this? Is this the one I made a necklace?
You usually make something with all the kits. You usually have.
Did I do this one? Oh no, I made a different necklace with it. This is a similar-ish. It looks really dark. I should pour it into something to really show it. Do you have a scooper? Pass me that scooper.
This one's the wide load.
You know what this is? I know what this is. So whoever gets this kit, this is all the extras. And so this is double cheeked up. So whoever gets this kit is getting the one with all the extras in it. So that's a good time right there. There's a lot of amber.
Double cheeked up.
Yeah, you can see this light is flattening everything. You can't really see the colors. With my eyeballs, they look, it's like garnet. It's dark in here, but the light is kind of flattening that look. So it's hard to see. There's green garnet, there's peridot, there is, what is that? That's pyrite. And these big chunks, that's amber. This is, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank with that. You have to look at
The stones are in the description.
yeah, so if you look at the listing, you can see. So that's got a lot of good stuff in it.
I like that thick amber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this, I can tell that this was the one I made for, like, all the extras got poured into this bag.
Is that peridot in it too?
Mm-hmm. That's peridot and essonite garnet.
I believe, didn't you have a chrome diopside in that kit too?
Oh, yeah, chrome diopside. It's one of my favorites. I am drawn to some of the most magical beads, I'll tell you.
Michelle asks, is the turkey tail toggle something you have online? We
Um,
haven't made a lot of that in pewter, so no. we don't have it
I don't
online.
know. I have to look. But if there's any interest in it, then that will be something that we'll put more on.
All right, this is, I know we just released this Forgotten
Is this
Ocean
the last
Secrets.
one?
I believe that is the last
So-
one. There might be 1 or 2 left, but it's listed on the website.
So this kit is the one with big hole beads. It comes with cord. Don't forget, it comes with cord.
I know. I never.
And the cord, we're going to do, I think, Wednesday, because I wanted to make sure we had all these sold before I did a thing on it. So I have a plan for it. So this is some big hole drilled variety. Some of this is opalite, which is, they make it similar to the way it was made a long time ago. So this is like the same method. It's not an antique, like, say, where is that one? It's a repro of the old. I don't see it now. And there's a couple pieces or a couple glass, but there's pewter in this. So I think on Wednesday we'll go and make the kit. This will be a fun one. Comes with a lot of extra pewter little charms. I wanted to make like a beachy one. It's kind of coming into the wrong time of the year for it. I waited too long, I think. So anyway, that's that kit. Is that it?
Last one here. This is backstock that I believe I saved for myself.
Oh, this is one you were keeping.
This is one that I was thinking about keeping, but because I forgot about it, I thought maybe somebody else would like to enjoy it.
What is that error? You see that?
It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, I see.
Don't worry about that.
Okay, so this one, I don't remember the name of this one, but this is way old.
Yeah, that one goes back months.
Yeah. I remember. This is,
there's two left of those because one of them I kept and one you were going to keep, but neither of us did anything with it. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
Strawberry Sunset.
Yeah, this looks like it has those little nugs of. That's that cherry quartz, pink tourmaline, amethyst, blue agate. I see banded agate and mica and quartz. And what is this little one? I think those, oh, I bought those before and I left them. I believe those are the rainbow fluorite.
And that is the last of our sale tonight.
Awesome. Let's get ready to flip.
Good job. You did it. So now we can flip it and do the giveaway.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot.
I could tell, yeah. Nobody else is going to be forgetting that one, though. They want that. Very nice. So these are not, the kits that we just showed, I dropped links to them for the listings on the website. Those are not for the lot sale. So if you click on the links, you'll be taken to the listing on the website.
And here's how this is looking when it has dried a little. So you can see it. It's still, the color is still very saturated. And that's that hazy part I was telling you about that gets when you do the wet on wet when you let the white flow in to the watercolor, you get that kind of hazy opaly kind of look.
All right. So you want to lay out those kits there? We don't need to flip the camera yet because they'll just be looking at our face. Here we go. Okay. All right. Here's the first draw.
Okay, let's see who's the first winner. This is through the StreamYard giveaway tool. Aletta McKinley.
Comment if you're here.
Aletta, if you're here, go ahead and let us know so that you can claim your prize. You just email and let us know where to send it. So Aletta, if you're here, we'll give her a second. And then let's just draw the next one for the third or the second draw again.
Pat Moore. I know Pat's here. Yeah.
I see Aletta.
Oh, good. Okay, so that's two of them. Now we have one more. Let's draw one last time. Cindy.
Yay.
Yay. We got three winners tonight for our peach kits, our peach bead blends. So go ahead and comment, Cindy, if you're here.
Cindy, if you're here, give us a comment so we know that we don't have to draw again.
We had a good show tonight.
I think so. I think we had a good turnout.
I had a nice time watching you paint.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't see a comment from Cindy yet.
I'm looking, and I don't see it. You are correct.
Well, Cindy, if Cindy is not here, then we may have to draw again so it's fair. I don't see Cindy, so... All right, we're going to draw one more time, friends.
All right.
Debbie Myers.
Debbie
I know you.
Myers.
Oh, it's Cindy was here.
Where is Cindy?
This is Cindy. Cindy Everett was here the whole time. All right. Well, sorry about that, Debbie.
Well, what we can do, I hate to do that. Just send another one.
Then we'll have another. Okay, then we have 4 winners tonight. We have Cindy, Pat, Aletta, and Debbie.
Yay!
So 4 winners. 4.
All right, hit the front camera and let's.
All right.
All right, friends, that was pretty good. So we have another live plan for Wednesday. I'm going to do that kit. I'm going to show how to tint the thread. That'll be pretty fun to do, and how to do a multi-strand knot, because sometimes that can be tricky. It's not that tricky, but I'm thinking of like this, but with multi-strands and that linen cord. So tune in on Wednesday for that. And also Azalea and we're going to do this thing. We did it before, and we did a contest in the past where it's not really a contest. We'll get more posts if we do like almost like a giveaway, but we'll pick someone that's like posting a lot and then do like a drawing or something. Probably not. Sometimes we just want to send something to someone that's like, I guess you'd call it a frequent flyer on our Facebook group, the Greengirlstudios.
Somebody that keeps it alive and likes to post in the group. Yeah,
keeps it alive, keeps the dream alive, keep our business going. It's hard for me to constantly be taking pictures and uploading things, and I love seeing what people make. And when I see it in the group, it's like a delightful burst of dopamine. So since I love that, I want to encourage it. And to encourage it, we would like to do like drawings or just send out little things. We probably won't make a big fuss about it, but keep that in mind. That's what we're doing. We're monitoring, and when we see it, then sometimes you get a little extra, So that's what we were thinking about doing. And by thinking about it, Azalea's already been getting ideas for how we can make a contest that doesn't take so long and so much energy. Just something that's like, fun and easy. All right. Clem is asking, Azalea, did you see my question? I did not see a question, Clem. All right. Tina says, Cynthia, that troll you had in the case, you still have it. Oh, maybe I do. I have to go look around. I'll look around and see where I have a little troll. All right, my friends, thank you for joining us this evening. We appreciate y'all supporting our little family business, and we are very appreciative of that, especially now with things so disasperated, and a lot of our areas that we like to sell have kind of washed away down the river. So it's very nice to be able to have this platform to stay alive just to get to the next show. All right, my friends, we have a lot of fun things planned. So we'll see you Wednesday and Sunday for the next Magic Hour. All right. Y'all take care out there, and we will see you later.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.